Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. Before we talk about your doctor being an artist, let's talk for just a second about where this YouTube channel is going to be going for the next few months. Because of my work schedule, I'm going to be traveling quite a bit, and because of that, I'm going to cut back to the video production to just Tuesdays and Thursdays for at least until the end of the year. I'm just going to be gone too much. See, creating a YouTube channel dealing with health is really, frankly, a labor of love. I mean, when you see different channels from people trying to share their experiences and how they've gotten healthy over the year, you really are looking at a labor of love that is nothing more than other people trying to help other folks to get healthy. That's what we do. And there's a lot of great information out there, but frankly, I still have to make a living, and that's what I'm going to be doing the next couple of months. Let's talk about your doctor, and you trying to get healthy, trying to rely on your doctor alone. The problem is, not very many of them are artists anymore. And see, medicine is both an art and a science, and sometimes people forget that. Too many doctors nowadays treat the art of medicine like they would a paint-by-number set. That somehow that is creativity. And really all they're doing is following an algorithm. You come in, you've got high blood pressure, they give you a pill. They're not asking you important questions like lifestyle. Are you actually kind of tense right now? What's going on if you write this minute? Because maybe your numbers are just artificially high. They're just looking at the numbers. If the numbers are high, they give you a pill. That's kind of the science of medicine, but it's not really the art. See, the art is taking the various bits that you see and then adding to it, and to utilize their experience, their clinical experience. And great clinicians are invaluable. See, there's two types of doctors that you may or may not be aware of. There's a group that are researchers, and they produce some great information. It's very valuable stuff. They're the ones who are often testing a lot of the drugs and medications and taking treatment protocols and seeing if they can replicate it. But clinicians are the people that are actually seeing patients, and they often are the front line of how treatment options are being created based on their own experience, and they're invaluable if they can behave like artists. The problem is that it's being beaten out of them. Very few of them actually control their own practices, and as a result, they're given a very limited amount of time that they can spend with you based on what they're allowed. And frankly, they're not their own bosses anymore. Physicians are not very autonomous. They instead work for companies, some of whom aren't even run by doctors. Some of them are run by different investor groups and stuff like that. And when they do that, they're saying, hey, you've got 5 minutes per patient. So they come rushing in, they go right to the computer screen, log in, and if they look at you, even briefly, or even check your heart, I'm kind of surprised nowadays. I remember a couple of times I went and saw my doctor, and I don't even think he made eye contact the whole time. All he did was check, hey, here's what the numbers are. Okay, great. Your medication's still doing okay? Great. See you in 6 months. That was it. And that's unfortunately a lot of what modern medicine has become, because they've lost the art. A good physician really should be a teacher. And I still am amazed that in all the years that I saw my doctor, I saw him for almost 15 years before I got out of the medical system, he never mentioned to me once that I had metabolic syndrome, even though it had been known. If he had mentioned to me, he said, look, you need to Google metabolic syndrome because you've got a big waist, your blood pressure's high, your HDL is really low, your triglycerides are high, and your blood glucose is high. Basically, I was pre-diabetic, or really, frankly, I was a type 2 diabetic for all practical purposes. I was burning out my arteries. This is what led to all the destruction in the back of my eyes that led to me losing weight and having bariatric surgery. But frankly, if they just told me and given me a name to Google metabolic syndrome or insulin resistance, that could have began the process of change. But nobody ever told me. And if you never hear it from your doctor, odds are you're not going to get the wake-up call. Most people don't get serious about trying to change their diet until they're told they're type 2 diabetic. And then they're often told, oh, by the way, you're type 2 diabetic, which is a progressive and a non-curable disease. And that's nonsense. Type 2 diabetes is definitely reversible. And it does change with diet and lifestyle, but they're not going to tell you that. You have to Google that stuff yourself. See it time and time again. There's only a handful of companies that can really do a great job with helping to reverse type 2 diabetes. And until you find them, unless you even know to Google it, you're stuck. And that's the real shame of it all. That the art and science, the art mixed with the science is missing. What that means is, frankly, if you want to get healthy, if you want to learn about this stuff, you're on your own. Your doctor really isn't going to help you. Now, what's really cool today is because when you engage in the art of medicine, when you decide, hey, I'm going to start trying lifestyle, I'm going to try to change my health, and you start finding these different YouTube channels like this one that can help you in that journey and give you clues as to which direction you can go to. At some point when you're ready to pull the trigger, you can click into the science, because we can do online consultations with doctors that can fill in some of the gaps and help you answer some really tough questions when you do have specifics. You know, I've had this happen to me. I had some weird blood work. Kind of looked like I had some kidney problems, but it didn't make sense because it was one test out of 3 on kidney functions that looked bad. So I Googled around and found a really good carnivore doc who knew about kidneys. And he gave me a different test to use than the one I was using, and he told me exactly why mine was high. Got the other additional blood work done. Yep, everything was fine. So that's where the art and the science can come together. But unfortunately, you're going to have to bring the paintbrushes. Frankly, most of the artwork is going to have to be done by you nowadays, because if in this journey to get healthy, frankly, you're on your own. But thankfully, we can all be alone in this together and work together to make ourselves healthier. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. If you like this message, if you want to get more like it, please hit the like and subscribe button. That tells the algorithm that other people are paying attention to it. If you've got a really good doctor that is working with you and is a teacher, please let people know that there are some left. Frankly, they're too few and far between nowadays, but they are some out there, and that's a wonderful thing when you can find one. I try to put out a new message every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I will talk to you soon.